Is your psychic energy starting to feel like an icky, goopy, caked-on mess? A little spiritual refinement may be in order. I'll show you how to refine that sticky goop into delectable goodness in episode 3 of Kitchen Witch Tips. Enchantments. For the best and weirdest psychomagic tips and techniques, subscribe to the Enchantments YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you can be updated when they upload new videos almost every Thursday on Thaumaturgy Thursday. Hi wizards, I'm Peggy Lee Protaganissi and I am just so excited to have you join me today on Enchantments. So, if you've been feeling stuck in your psychic development practice, by the end of this video, you will have a foolproof technique that can help you refine your abilities and trust your intuition. Now, this kitchen witch tip is a visual aid. For thousands of years, visual aids have been used as totems of power. And when used daily with empowering intentions, a visual aid can defeat some of the toughest psychomagic blocks. That's why we turn to the kitchen, where we kitchen witches spend most of our time as homemakers. So I am just tickled to share. Drum roll, please. Today's kitchen witch tip is the art of the deglaze. Step 1, saute and pray. As empathic, compassionate wizards, we courageously seek out opportunities to break down our egos. This often means exposing ourselves to the scorching flames of passionate love or dangerous animals or dishonorable relationships. Now, when our ego is dissolving, all parts of ourselves are exposed in the breakdown. And that's just terrifying to the ego. But in order to fully refine our psychic abilities, we have to learn to turn the blackening sugars of our dissolving ego into a rich, soulful sauce. So first, we find a hot situation to break down that ego. This oil represents my closest relationships. Heat it up till it's just smoky. Place your egoic exploits in the pan. These Tregorian bloom pops are just like the sugary sweetness of familial virtue signaling. Now, we all egoically signal our virtue to our tribe so we can feel a sense of belonging. But true belonging is complete acceptance beyond virtue or merit. I just can't wait for these little sugar babies to brown up. Just look at that egoic sacrifice. Golly, I'm really starting to feel like a real human being. I mean, just look at the way those sugars dissolve into perfectly lovable character flaws. But this is still not my real identity. And look at the way it's sticking. Now, you might not see this sticky goop as valuable at first because it's been stuck on for so long, clouding up your perception of who you think you are. And maybe your friends or family or tribe or society taught you to reject these icky bits because they never learned to be compassionate with their own icky bits. But I'm here to tell you, this ooey gooey, icky, sticky, psychic pan dripping is the making of a great sauce. Now, if you really want to be accepting of all parts of yourself, throw in a dash of rose petals. And if you want to take it to the next degree, you can totally embrace the dissolution of your ego with the idea of black dead man's trumpet mushrooms. Nothing like a dead man's trumpet to really make you think about your ego loss. So here's where we get to honor all the hard work our ego has done to protect our sense of self. As the ego dissolves, take time to deeply respect the rich caramels produced by the fruits of your labor. You have come a long way to be so sweet and so righteous. Little side note here, egos with a higher sugar content break down much faster beneath the fiery heat. So if you're only accepting the sacred and rejecting the profane, all of that sugary sweetness will prove much more difficult to integrate when the fires get hot. If that's your case, you'll need to be ready and waiting with your pure spirit in order to keep that sugar from blackening on the bottom of your pan. Step 2, ready your spirit. Now you're going to need a pure spirit. Several distillations are ideal for the dissolution of the ego. You're going to want to try something that's strong like brandy or whiskey or Gem and Bolt Mezcal. # Warrior Generation. Proper timing of a deglaze is key. Have your spirit ready for that prime moment just before your glaze turns from brown to black. Consider what happens to the ego when you imbibe a pure spirit. You break down power structures on the dance floor, and you might ask that hot chick out for tea, or you might rub elbows with those conservative in-laws. They call it liquid courage because the ego is dissolved into the purity of the spirit. Now this is strictly a visual aid, and I am certainly not promoting self-medication through alcohol. So leave a comment below and let me know how you create sacred, healthy spaces for the dissolution of your ego as if you were drunk on pure spirit. This is where you're going to turn to when you're ready to deglaze those psychic pan stickins. Come on. Ooh. Step 3, flambe and slay. It's on fire. When the ego has begun to caramelize into a glaze of stuck-on psychic sugars, you know the time is right to flambe and slay. Get spiritual by pouring your refined spirit all over your dissolving ego. Om benzer sato samaya manupalaya. So now let's revisit some of those sacred healthy practices wherein we completely dissolve our egos into pure spirit. Think of practices like ecstatic dance, or singing in tongues, or automatic writing, or pranayama breath work. So I'm talking about activities wherein the boundaries of yourself are really just loosened up. And you want to practice dissolution of the ego again and again and again in order to get that pure triple distilled spirit. Whew. When we add the sacred fires of the flambe, we magnify our practice with the power of grief and love, adding a spiritual passion, clarifying our intention. The flames of your sacred spirit, or flambe, will eventually burn off any excess liquid not needed for psychic integration. And all those little stuck-on bits of caramelized psychic goo will slowly just slip off the bottom of the pan. This is the power of pure spirit. You now have a delectable psychic sauce. Enjoy your newly refined psychic abilities, free from the glaze of dogmatic thinking and stuck-on projections. And remember, no one, nowhere can take the freedom within your heart and mind. #you are the spell, all one word. So now you have a new weird psychomagic technique straight out of the kitchen to help you refine your psychic abilities and trust your intuition. Ancient sorcery on fleek. So if you liked this video, I'm going to go ahead and ask you to share it. And make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you'll be updated when we upload new videos of kitchen witch tips. So before you go, I just want to let you know that the folks at Enchantments have created a guide for a life-changing breathing technique that will blow your flippin' socks off. So I practice it every day. The folks at Enchantments practice every day. It will get you set up for success in meditation, and it's free. So go ahead and find the link below in the description and make sure you access that. You're really gonna love it. Last but not least, if you want to join a group of wizards just like you and me, the folks at Enchantments have created a secret society where some of the best psychomagic tips and techniques are shared. It's called You Are the Spell, and it's really exciting. I think you're going to find a real sense of belonging there. Go ahead and find that link in the description. Well, I think that's it for today, folks. Thank you so much for joining me, Peggy Lee Protaganissi, today on Enchantments.
Thaumaturgy